Yeah, guys. So today is a D13. This will be a D13 and this will evening session. Now, today what we are going to discuss is that after we were discussing about OOPS concepts in which we have discussed about inheritance. In that we also discussed about single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, as well as hierarchy inheritance. But now this will be the last class in which we are going to discuss about encapsulation. So this will be a very short session. So what is encapsulation? So let me make it very clear. So if you see, there will be some sort of capsule which seal which will be having two sides. Two sides. One side, one side will be having a specific color, and another side will be having an alternative color, alternative color, alternative color. Then, so now if you observe it carefully, a capsule, a capsule will be having two sides. One side will be specific color and another side will be an alternative color. So in the same way, in the encapsulation, there will be two two things that is going to be in a single word or else single unit. So as an example, how encapsulation is will be this will be one will be variable. This will be attached. This will be attached plus method. Both will be in the single unit. This will be of completely single unit. This will be in a single unit. So this is encapsulation. Encapsulation. That means wrapping or combining methods and variable into single unit. We call it as a encapsulation. So in this we are going to have three things in the time of oops and pop differentiation. We have discussed about things like there will be access access specifiers. So this was the topic where we had discussed about in which in which in which we were talking about if there is specifiers, then there would be things like that can be having a security, that will be having um, a different kind of things. Let me put it very short. First of all, in this access specifiers, we are going to have public, private, and protected. These are the three things that comes under access specifiers. This is going to tell which method you are going to specify, which is a method you are going to protect it. If there are multiple methods, then which is need to be private, which need to be public, which need to be protected. Everything will be in this encapsulation. So for that reason, OOPS was into a very good place in terms of Python. And also, now let's put it on the VS Code. So let's open. This will be encapsulation, and this will be about py. So as we are discussing about encapsulation, first of all, let's take a class. Let's take a class. Let's take a class and let's name it something like sample. Let me put it as a sample. And now they need to be a column as I defined as a sample. Now let me make it in the private. There will not be any sort of indications or something, but any writing syntax or something. There will not be anything. But when it comes to private, there will be double underscore. There will be double underscore, and we are going to put a letter or some sort of things we are going to mention. But when it comes to private, when it comes to protected, we are going to put a single underscore and we are going to put a letter or any sort of name for it. So here, so first of all, let's see about private. One, two, two plus a. I'm going to denote it with a sample letter, and I'm going to give a value of 20 or 15. Next, I'm going to make a private one, which is of underscore b equal to 45. So I have assigned it, and let me put it over so that for upcoming days we could have a reference for it. Let me put ash. This will be private, and next one this will be protected. If you are using double underscore, this is going to be private. If you are going to use single underscore, this will be considered as protected in terms of Python. So I hope you would be reminding this. Now print. I want to print the both. I want to first print. I want to print this A, which is of private A. Next, I wanted to print this is underscore B, which is of protected. Let's try to run this. We got the both. Let me tell you what happened actually over here. First of all, we call out everything in the same class itself. So even in the same class, if you're going to be protected, we can be exposed. If you're being private, that can be exposed. But when it comes to other ways, or when it comes to not, if you're calling out of the class, you can't be getting this. So for that reason, we are going to use this one. So let me do this. So this is about private. This is about protected. So earlier we know we have used plenty and plenty of public. So we would not be making very much time of it. Now, now also again let's see that as you have said, sir, you might be getting this out. So you said that we can't access some sort of thing which is of private. We can't access out of the class. So let's work on it so that we could get a better idea. So again, let's make a class name sample again, sample, and open and close the brackets. We're going to put a colon over here, and we are going to define something. We are going to define, yeah. So first of all, let's write self. First write the same one, which is of this would be a equal to a equal to a, and private b. Sorry, protected will be b. Now b. Then next, let me create one more class. Class should be sample. Open and close the brackets. Put a colon. Now, what we are going to do is that I want to define what would be output, 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 and as it is in this class, we are going to call outside. So for that reason, we need self. Done. Then I'm going to tell print self, because we are going to call it outside. So print self, I want to call B, this one, underscore B, which is of protected. Then put a colon, enter. Now we are going to call them outside. So S, S has a sample, call it. I'm going to denote S for this sample. Both are same. So for that reason, we need not to put a larger brain into it. And let's call it outside S dot output. Done. Now, earlier we used to do the same thing. Here we are going to write something. We are going to write something as well same. Then we are going to call over here. Then let's try it. Yeah. So let me remove it. Now let's try it again. Now here, if you see carefully, it is telling that is A. Where are A? So for a while, let's make it a comment. Now again, if you see, if I'm telling that this is a B, earlier this would be assigning for this. This would be telling this is underscore B, which is a protective. If I'm calling it outside, it is not going to get it. Here it is saying that B is not defined. So in such a ways, what we can do? Let me tell you. This would be little tricky, but this is going to be a very good help for us. Now, first of all, let's define something. Define, and we are going to initiate in it. Underscore. First of all, we are going to use double underscore one, two underscore. We are going to do it in it, which is of initialize, and take a double underscore after it, and we are going to make self a comma b, a comma b. We are going to tell it, and we are going to put a colon. Then afterwards, we need to make it self again, because we are going to make it universal so that we can use overall in the same folder itself. Now I use double underscore over here and a letter A, and singular underscore over here and letter B. Now we need to assign to this one, sample. This would be sample 2. And as we have seen about inheritance, we need to put the same one, same class, because we are going to follow this one. Sample, sample. We brought that, we brought this to here. Hmm. We brought sample 2, where we are going to inherit all the definitions for this. Then we are going to make the same one, and now let's try with the numbers. 2 comma 3. Now let's try to print it. We got the same. We got sample def in it. Self, we have initiated it, and we give self underscore maybe we also give it. So let's do this thing. Let's remove this. Let's remove this as well. Let's try it again. Def, we got it. Now let's try this. Let's try again. again everywhere. And yeah, well, now here we need to put a self over here so that it could be defined under this self dot self dot again. Now, if you can see here, this has been given a value. It has a parameter. You can see now we got three. This is how we are going to access D, which is of protected. We could access over here. Here, let me put this is a private, private. This is a protected, protected. Now, so this is about encapsulation. And now, so this is about encapsulation. Let me copy this again. Let me copy this and let me put it over there. Let me put it over here. Let me put it over here. Then again, let's copy this again. This would be first one. Now, next topic would be about this would be about polymorphism. This would be next topic will be poly means many. Morphism means forms. Morphism. This is polymorphism. Generally, how does this work? I'll tell you. First of all, poly means poly means many. Morphism. Morphism means forms in many forms. I'll tell you how. As an example, what if let me take one of my dearest friends, Soumya. Okay, so there was one of my very dearest friend. There was Soumya. Now she would be a daughter of women. Let me put it over here. Let's put Soumya over here. And how many forms she can be? She's only one woman. How many forms she can be? She can be a daughter. She could be a daughter. She could be a daughter, and she could be a mother, sister, or else a good friend, and also caretaker, caretaker, and she could be a best friend for someone, and she could be lover for someone. She could be wife for someone. She could be grandmother for someone. So a single person can be in many different forms. We can count. She can be. What if someone's okay, heart and soul? Sometimes heart and soul. This would be one. Let's count it: one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. 10, right? So only single person was in 10 different forms. Only single person. In the same way, poly means Soumya. Morphism means forms. In different forms, she was available. Now, in the same way, how a polymorphism works. Let's work on it. Let me cut it. Let me make a new folder. Polymorphism dot py. In this polymorphism, let's talk now. This would be a very simple one. Definition. We are going to give a definition. A comma B, A comma B, comma B, and we are going to make. We need to put name, right? Add. print A plus B. So this is the function where we are going to assign it. Now, now if I'm going to add 1 comma 2, it is going to give me an answer, and add string A, string A, comma, string B. Again, this would be giving me an answer. Again, let's add a to list. For list, we need to use square brackets, right? This would be 1 comma 2, 2, and again another list, a comma over here, 5 comma 6. Done. And again, let's add something like add. Let's add triple as well. For triple, let's put brackets again. Let's put brackets again. 3 comma 4. Again, now let's put one more double. That would be about 5 comma 7. Now let's try to execute this. We got error because they have to be brackets, right? Now let's print this. Now if you see 1 comma 2, I've added where we can use 1 plus 2. That is going to add. And next A plus B got added, and the two lists were added, and two doubles were also added. This is about this is about polymorphism. And the last one. This is for your kind information itself. That is, this is data abstraction. So mostly data abstraction is something that abstraction. Now, this is the kind of way. This is hiding the process. Simple. So I'll tell you what is hiding process. So we can't make a practical on it, but even though I'll show you something like how does it works. So let's search on Python compiler, Python online compiler. Now, as an example, if you go for an ATM, if you're trying to pull out some sort of money, you're going to put your card, you're going to click on a number, money is going to come, and you don't know what is going happening behind the ATM. Or else, let's take another example. If you want to send some money to me, as an example, if you want to send 1,000 rupees for me, then you're going to open your phone pay, you're going to search for my number, or else you're going to put on my number. Then you are going to put the amount, how much amount you want to 10,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 1 million, whatever. You're going to put the number and you're going to click on send. Then after you're going to put a code. It's of UPI PIN code. Then after that, money will be transferred from your account to my account. And you don't even have an idea what is going behind it. The process which is happening back in the background, we call it as a data abstraction, hiding the process. So let me tell you. So as an example, we can use help dot init. So if you are running this one, now this is the kind of only the statement. There is something then I need to get an output, but it's not all about something like we need to do it. There is something script written background of it. Generally, this in general for your idea itself, there is some sort of things. So if recently we kept add, if you're going to add a value or something like that, this is going to run. We call it as a thunder statements or magic statements. This is about data abstraction. Yeah. So this is for today. And do you have any doubts regarding this? Do you have any doubts regarding this? Yeah, guys. Any doubts? So by this, we are done with OOPS concepts. Any doubts? So, can you explain about encapsulation again? Well, I'll tell you. So, let's pop up to our VS Code. Let me open VS Code. So here, encapsulation is something that. mm, so what if there is a some sort of a ball? So let's take some sort of a lunchbox. For any sort of lunchbox, we are going to have a base and we are going to have a lid on it. So if you want to call this as a lunchbox, then you need to have a base and you need to have a lid for it. And without both of that, we can't make some sort of lunchbox where we can store everything in it. In the same way, encapsulation is something that is a process where you are going to store variable and method in a single unit. You are going to save it in a single unit. So let's go for encapsulation again. Now let me let me cut this all. First class will be its name class as demo. Put a colon over here. So first of all, we are going to make a demo, right? So before we talk about demos, uh, yeah, there are three specific things which are mostly considerable. There are three classes that we call it the access, access specifiers. So this is a these are the things which we use it to talk in terms of making differentiation of POP, which is of procedural oriented programming versus object oriented programming. This in this we are going to have public, public, private, private, and protected. These are the three things which are mostly need to be considered. In this, when it comes to a normal demo of encapsulation, let's make this. But now let's back to the topic. First of all, let's talk how encapsulation is going to work. We are going to we are going to make so for private we are going to use double underscore. I'm giving a gap so that you could observe it easily, and this would be a name for this single underscore space name. We are not going to use any sort of spaces while we are going to assign our names. So in a class, everything would be public. And if you want to make it a private, where this can't be used after the class, which should not be used after the class, then we call it as a private. And when we are going to use protected, is that it need to be accessed by everyone. Then that is going to call as protected. So what if let's call this to give you a real time example. In every classroom, there will be some sort of duster or board eraser or something like that. So if the duster was named by your class, then everyone in your class can write it. That is called protected, right? If the duster is going outside of your class, then the person need to be from your class so that he can use anywhere. That's about protected. But when it comes to private, we can't access once it is named as private. Simple. Public, that's a kind of benches or something in the class. Anyone can use it. Anyone can take wherever they want. Simple. Back to the example, that is, first of all, we named a class as demo. And first of all, let's assign under double underscore A as 35 and protected B underscore single underscore B equal to 24. Now, if I we are in a both single class, then I can print whatever I think. Print, this will be print double underscore A. Next, print single underscore B. Now I'm in same class where I have defined double underscore A as 35, single underscore as 24. Let's execute this. We got answers 35 and 24. Now, this is the first example for public. This is a public. This should be public. Okay. Now, let's talk about private and protected. Now, again, let's make this. Name a class as demo. Again, let's close the brackets. And now we are going to assign the same one. This is of, let's copy this and paste it over there. Now, again, I have made the same thing. Now, but for a little change, let's make a class again. Let's call demo2. And so we made demo2, second class. And let's make inheritance where we are going to put the name over here so that everything available in this, it is going to get inherited over here. And now let's make some sort of define output. Output output will be in this output, let's put colon. And what I want to print is that print underscore B. I want to print this protected. I want to print this protected. Now, until this point, I have assigned. First of all, I have assigned a class named demo in which I gave a values. And in the next class, I have made a demo2 where I have inherited same rules, same numbers, same values over here in this. And after that, I'm going to define what is output. Output will be, if you're going to call this output, then the answer would be this one. I want this to be printed when I'm going to call this demo2. When I'm going to call this a demo2, I want B, which is of 24. I need to get printed. Now let's call this D as a demo. D equal to demo, and let's put column. Let's remove column. We're going to call demo2, right? Let's do demo2. Let's put something like numbers. Number would be better. 3 comma 5. Let's call it D dot output, where I'm going to call this one. Let's try to run this. It is showing that type error. The demo2 takes no arguments. But in the in afternoon session when we have discussed about inheritance, if you're going to put the same name from here till here, we need to get the same rules for here, right? But we haven't got it. And let's put self so that we could get outside of it. If we could call it outside, then we need to get it. But again, same. It is talking about this line equal to demo2. Demo2 was here. Output we have called it, and we got nothing, right? Now let's do this thing. Okay, let's define something before it. We are going to make it we are going to make it something like that. Could be, these values can be accessed, that is private and protected, that can be accessed throughout the file. Now let's define it by putting init, which is of initiating the process. We are going to initiate these values for everywhere in the file. That is, for that reason, put underscore double underscore in it, that is initializing in it. And let's call it self, where this can be accessed by everyone. A and B. Let's put a column over here. And also, let's put self so that this could be accessed. Self dot. And we and outside of it, we want to put a value. So this could be one. Done. A will be A, B will be B. Now, now let's what should we do? We have give a demo. This could be this demo. The class one was inherited over here. And now let's put this one, which is of self, self P, self B. This value we are going to put over here. A second value, what we are going to put over here that need to be printed. Now let's call it. Let's run it. We got answer. I guess it's clear. If I want to call A, let's see. If I want to call A, this was validated, right? I need to get answer three, but answer was error because there is a reason. Private data can't be accessed. So for that's the reason why OOPS concepts are very much famous in terms of access specifiers. This is the only the reason why Python is mostly of OOPS or something like that. Any data in it, it can't be accessed by anyone and when it is mentioned in the private. Yeah. And any more doubts? Yeah, guys. Any more doubts? Yeah. I guess you don't have any sort of doubts. Then let's wind it up for tomorrow. And you will be getting notifications regarding upcoming stations. And also you can go through our website that is rapidskill.in in which you'll be able to go beyond the basics. Till now we were discussing only basics, and in this you can go beyond the basics where we are having a different kind of modules available that is Python with data science and everything related to your career. And you can contact us for upcoming sessions. And also you can contact us for any sort of doubts you are having in terms of Python, or else you can contact us in terms of career guidance in terms of what I need to do when I'm going to complete my BTech. And if you're having a plan for abroad, you can contact us. We are going to give you best suggestion, which country is going to suit you more, and in which country is going to get compatible about your education, about your marks or something. We are going to help you in terms of securing a proper placement, proper internship. We are going to help over here. Then you can contact us over rapidskill.in where you'll be able to find our official mobile number. You can contact us or else you can ping us over WhatsApp. And if you have any queries, you can message it. You can give a mail at support@rapidskill.in. Thank you for joining. Have a great day. Bye.